Our top story at this hour, Chairperson of the Parliamentary Ad Hoc Committee, Lekganyane, has confirmed that controversial businessman Vusimuzi Matlala will appear before the committee today. The revised timetable follows Matlala's indication, communicated through his legal representatives, that he was insufficiently prepared to deliver his testimony at the initially scheduled time. Lekganyane noted that after further engagement with Matlala's lawyers, they reached consensus on the adjusted schedule and will proceed accordingly.
The witness has requested that we start at 11 o'clock and then we start at 10 o'clock on Thursday. So we have agreed to that arrangement. We will start at those times as they would have been requested.
SABC News reporter Lekganyane Philip is at the Hoc Correctional Facility in Pretoria for more on really what is expected today. Lekganyane, a very good morning. Questions, more questions than answers at this point. Ahead of that testimony, paint the picture. What are some of those gaps? What remains unanswered?
Well, good morning to you, Lizil, and to the viewers this morning. Of course, the much-anticipated testimony of Vusimuzi Matlala is expected to get underway this morning here at the Hoc Correctional Facility. Of course, this is unprecedented because the Ad Hoc Committee is holding its hearings for the first time outside of the precinct of Parliament. Of course, the security concerns of making a prisoner to travel to Cape Town, they prefer that perhaps maybe it might be safer to come and have these oral hearings right here at Hoc Prison. Of course, quite a lot of issues that Mr. Matlala will have to answer to, because he's one of the central figures and whose name has come up quite frequently amongst the witnesses that have testified before the Ad Hoc Committee. Amongst the other issues that he will have to talk to is the issue of the awarding of the irregular contract worth 360 million rand by the South African Police Service. Of course, that contract has since been cancelled after identifying lapses and gaps in the awarding of that tender. And the committee members would be keen to understand what kind of influence has he played in actually influencing that tender being awarded to his company, Medicare 24. Of course, Mr. Matlala, not only his name has only come up at the Ad Hoc Committee, but also in the Matlala Commission of Inquiry. And given that he's a central figure in the establishment of both the Matlala Commission as well as the Ad Hoc Committee, his information, or rather testimony, is quite crucial in the work of the committee in piecing together whether does he play a role in the infiltration of the criminal justice system. Of course, looking ahead, his testimony is expected to begin later this morning at 11 o'clock. He can take two directions because his lawyers have indicated that his incarceration has actually led him to have a negative impact in terms of both his health as well as mental capacity. And of course, they said that on Monday when they consulted with him, he couldn't comprehend some of the issues. So he could come here and give testimony under protest, given that he's argued that he didn't have enough time to prepare, or as a man who's backed up in a corner, he could choose to actually spill the beans and mention all the people who enabled and facilitated his alleged criminal enterprise. Looking ahead, we can catch that testimony at 11 right here at Hoc Correctional Facility. Lisa.
Well, Lekganyane, we are certainly monitoring all those developments alongside you, of course, as we edge closer to that testimony by Vusimuzi Matlala. Thank you for that update. As we continue with more legal matters today, we know that the Matlala Commission in Pretoria has heard how a person known as Malcolm X was present outside the home of Kagiso Katie Molefe on the day that he was arrested.